Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Coach Talk. This week we're going to talk about how are we going to get through Christmas without undoing all the good work we've done over the past couple of weeks. And we're going to give 3 tips, simple, easy tips that we would suggest for you to follow, which is certainly going to make a difference to how you feel post-Christmas in terms of food and energy levels and body composition and stuff as well, okay? So, tip number 1 is routine. This is where most people basically will see a lot of the problem coming from. And you guys have got some days off work, you're going to be staying up a little bit later and getting up a little bit later, and normal routines generally go out the window. And this causes a problem because your normal kind of breakfast time, or even the food you're eating for breakfast, lunchtime, all those kind of things get knocked on, and the knock-on effect that they don't either happen, or we're choosing different and less desirable foods at these specific times throughout the day. We are a creature of habits. The best thing for you to stay on board and to not kind of let the wheels fall off the wagon is to get your routine in place and try as best you can stick to your normal food for breakfast, your normal lunchtime meals, your normal evening meals, as best you can. Now there's definitely going to be a little bit that's not normal in there, but if you can keep that to a minimum, it's going to make a massive difference, A, to how you feel in terms of body composition after a week long of that kind of weird time between Christmas and New Year's, but also how your energy levels are going to be when you do get back into your training in the new year. Okay, so step number 1 is be aware of your routine and try your best to stick to a pretty solid new routine over that week period. Number 2 is your sleep, and this is a massive point to note over pretty much the Christmas party started over the past couple of weeks, but definitely from this week onwards to New Year, it's your sleep. You're going to have days off again, you're going to have half days, lunch, Christmas lunches with work and friends and family and everything else. Your sleep is going to be knocked on. Your sleep is going to have a knock-on effect of your food choice. So if our sleep is a little bit all over the shop or not what it normally is, well then our food choices and how we view food and energy levels are going to be knocked off as well. So your aim over the next, at least the next week to 10 days, is to make sure that we're getting 7 hours sleep per night. That's just a standard thing we want to look on. Okay, if we can manage that, you're going to have more energy throughout your day. You're not going to pick as much at sugary and high fat foods, and generally you're going to have more energy and just be in a better mindset as the madness begins to ensue. Okay, so check your sleep, try keep your routine in check. And third one is to be more focused towards protein-rich meals. This is the key to maintaining your body composition over the Christmas. It's very easy to overconsume carbs at Christmas. You have drink, you have chocolates, you have extra stuffing and all the kind of the good stuff, and that's fine to a degree, okay? But what we find is that if you're going to overeat on that and not be mindful of where your protein levels are, you're going to see a fairly distinct change in body composition after, the 10-day time period from now to that New Year period. So every single meal you're going to sit down before you eat it, just be a conscious effort to kind of go, hey, is there enough protein in this meal? If there's not, try your best to adjust it there and then on the spot, or if you're caught out again at work, lunches, whatever, and you just can't make that decision, try make your next meal more protein rich. This, we know, protein is the regulator of the body composition. So if we can keep our mindset directed towards a protein-rich meals, we know that for as best we can, we're going to keep a pretty solid body composition over the course of this Christmas period. And you'll come back in the new year, okay, you might have a pound or 2 on, but you certainly will not feel that you've half a stone or a stone of weight put on. And you can imagine the amount of work you're going to have to do to get rid of that in the new year. We just don't want to be in that position, okay? So the 3 simple steps: be aware of your routine and try keep your routine as best you can to what you normally would do. Number 2, sleep. Be aware of your sleep. That's going to be the true kind of driver towards your nutrition decisions on the following day. So if that's good, you're going to have a way better chance of making better decisions with drinking food the following day. And step number 3 is be aware of your protein content per meal. If you can, as best you can, in every single meal, try and make sure it is rich. If you get caught out and it's impossible to do it again with lunches or whatever, try and make the following meal heavier in protein so that you catch up, and by the end of your day your protein count is where it needs to be, and generally everything else will kind of fall in place over the 10-day period. Okay, so follow those 3 steps. It works like a charm. It works every single year. Anybody that does follow it comes out the other side of Christmas feeling really good, looking pretty solid, and not in that place of despair that they've had a mad of 10 days of overeating and not being aware of everything that should be aware of. Okay, so we've got a big week planned this week. We do have a 30-minute row for calories coming on this week. I want to see the classes full. I'm not taking excuses that, oh, I just wasn't there, I couldn't book in, I got caught out. Let's get it dialed in, guys. Let's get a big week just before Christmas. Enjoy.